Hi everyone! Welcome in to a very special edition of Cards and Coffee. I wanted to do a live about Imbolc. It's one of my favorite holidays as someone who considers themselves Wiccan. This holiday goes way back to the 10th century. So what is Imbolc? Imbolc is a pagan celebration, really, but it's really for all people to mark the seasons, the changing of the seasons. So Imbolc is the midway point between the Winter Solstice and the Spring Equinox. So we are halfway to spring. And I'm going to read you a little bit about the history of Imbolc. I literally found this article on history.com. And it's really beautiful. So like I said, it's a pagan holiday. It starts tonight, February 1st, or today, and then goes till sundown tomorrow, February 2nd. Hello, Maya. What's up, girl? So I'm just talking about what Imbolc is. So it is the midway point. We're halfway to spring. So it's the midway point between Winter Solstice and Yule, and then the Spring Equinox. So we're halfway there, and we're celebrating that we're halfway there, and we're starting to see the first signs of life in nature. Even today, where it's like snowing here in Pennsylvania, or it did snow, and I can still see like the green coming up through the snow in my backyard. So it's really exciting. So not only is nature pregnant, but we're pregnant with our intentions. And so one of the ways the Wiccans and pagans celebrated this back in the day, which it truly is a pagan holiday, is through the lens of the goddess Brigid. And so I'm going to read you a little bit about the history here. So like I said, it's celebrated between February 1st and February 2nd. And it's pretty much a Celtic tradition. Neolithic Ireland and Scotland, which I'm half Irish, Gibbons is Irish, and I'm also Wiccan, so this is one of those holidays, and I'm also a fire sign, and Brigid is a fire goddess, so this is a holiday that I really hold dear to my heart. So the origins of Imbolc. So like I said, it started in the 10th century, and really it was all about farming and agriculture. And so Imbolc means in the belly, and it was thought to be talking about ewe, I don't know how to say this word, ewes, or lambs, essentially. And the lambs, were pregnant, and they also drank the milk, which symbolizes nurturing the new life that's kind of coming on board. And later tonight, I'm going to leave an offering of oat milk to the goddess Brigid, and that's going to be a whole thing. So let's see, what else do I want to tell you about it? It's been speculated that this stems, like Imbolc, from the breeding cycle of sheep and the beginning of lactation. The holiday was traditionally aligned with the first day of spring and the idea of rebirth. So they put it in a way more simpler way. So Brigid was invoked for fertility rites, and she oversaw poetry. So she's a really good goddess to work with if you're an artist, crafts, and prophecy. And that's who she was worshipped by, the poets and the historians and the Celts. So she's one of the most powerful Celtic gods. She's the daughter of Daga. And she has two sisters, but they're really thought to represent just different aspects of herself, which is kind of interesting. That's a theme that's seen a lot, the three stages of womanhood in Wicca that are often represented are the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And it's interesting that the more you look at it, these legends, they morph, and the lines do get blurred between the historical facts and the mythology, but that's kind of what makes it special. And I like the idea that her two sisters were just really different aspects of herself. Let's see. So, ancient Imbolc. So it predates Christianity. People prepared for a visit from Brigid by crafting like an effigy or a doll of her from bundles of oats and rushes. So I feel like milk and oats, the fact that I'm doing oat milk, kind of combines those two things, because I'm not the best at crafting dolls. And then, yes, so the day of Imbolc, this is what we're going to kind of focus on, was celebrated by burning lamps and lighting bonfires in tribute to Brigid. So I'm going to light up all these candles here that I have on my altar, and hopefully it's going to be really pretty. I'm definitely going to try to flip the camera so you can see it more, and probably do a reel later. It's just kind of like a looser ritual. My energy is so high, so sorry I'm talking like 10 million miles a minute here. And, you know, Brigid is one of the actual goddesses that the Catholic Church took and changed into a saint. So that's a rabbit hole to go down later. So let's see some more facts about Saint Brigid before we really get started here. Saint Brigid is associated with milk and fire. So those are two elements we definitely want to bring in. She was born in Ireland around 453 AD. And she was the daughter of a slave and a chieftain who was celebrated at an early age for her architectural knowledge. There was one other thing I wanted to read to you. Where is it? Oh, I thought this was so interesting. Okay, Maya, are you still there, by the way? Okay, myths about Brigid's birth. Say she was born with a flame in her head. What? And drank the milk of a mystical cow from the spirit world. I mean, that's just cool, so I just had to include that. Brigid is credited with the very first keening, a traditional wailing for the dead, practiced at funerals by Irish and Scottish women, which is really just interesting. I did not know that. So born with a flame in her head and drank the milk of a mystical cow. I mean, cool. And, yeah, this is like another holiday, just kind of like Samhain, where the veil is really thin, and I kind of love it. So we'll be opening a circle later on and burning some things. This is interesting. This article is way longer than I thought it was, but it's really fascinating. So, and again, this is from the History Channel, I believe. Yeah, the History Channel on their website. So, with no interest in marrying, Brigid's goal was to create a monastery in Kildare, supposedly the former site to a shrine to the Celtic goddess of the same name. Brigid lived her entire life there. She was renowned for her charity to the poor and stories about her healing powers. Saint Brigid was a friend of Saint Patrick. Oh, that's going to be controversial, whose preaching set her on a course at an early age when she became Ireland's first nun. So, yeah, that's, I guess, where the overlap is. Let's see, other fun facts. In the 12th century, legend holds that the nuns of Kildare attended a fire built in St. Brigid's honor. The fire had burned for 500 years and produced no ash, and only women were allowed in the proximity of the fire. This is really, so she's kind of like one of the very first feminists, in my opinion. Let's see if there's anything else I want to tell you. So then they kind of talk about the modern kind of way to celebrate this holiday, which obviously you can do any way. Since it's a climate-specific holiday, that's why it's tied to Wicca, which, you know, for me, that really resonates too, because everyone's going to have their own definition and come from different practices, but to me, what I really love celebrating is just the passing of seasons and cycles, and time, really, just marking time and celebrating time. And I really feel like the ancients were so good at this. Like, so many of the holy sites were aligned with the winter solstice and these holy days. Like, they knew how to align structures to the weather and to acknowledge the seasons. Like, they really did know how to align themselves. And I think in a lot of ways they were so much more connected to the earth than we are today. So it's kind of nice, even though we live in a different kind of world now, but it's kind of nice to honor these ancient traditions and passings of them, you know, celebrating the wheel of time. I think that's pretty much all I want to say. And then the other thing that a lot of people do is make a Brigid's cross out of reeds, as well as a corn doll, like I was saying. In the tradition of the original Celtic festival, Wiccan groups that worship Brigid might include a fire rituals on Imbolc. So that takes us to what we're going to do tonight. I am going to light some Palo Santo first, and then we're just going to do this whole little ritual. It might be long. I don't know if anyone will be interested. I guess I'm kind of doing it for myself and for everyone who wants to join. So we're going to start by like setting some sacred space here and burning Palo Santo. And then here is some of that smoke for you. So Palo Santo, the smoke of that means holy wood in Spanish, holy stick. And it's sacred. It's antibacterial, antimicrobial. It's very physically healing. And I feel like it raises the vibration that's already been set. Typically I would burn some sage too, but I think my neighbors are still outside with their dogs, so I'm gonna let that go for tonight. And blow over my materials instead. I cleanse these materials of any previous energy, and I set the sacred space for ritual. Thank you, God and Goddess, for being here. Thank you. I'm in a home, and so it is. Hi, Cece. How are you? So I kind of just went over the history of Imbolc. It's about the midway point between Winter Solstice and Spring Equinox, and that's really what we're celebrating, being halfway towards spring. And the goddess associated with this holiday is Brigid, and she's a fire goddess. And that's often how this holiday was celebrated through. It's like a rebirth, and burning clean, and a celebration that like the farmers are going to be like back in the day. This was when agriculture would start up too, and so they were celebrating not the rebirth of the sun like you do at Yule, but just the strengthening of the sun. There we go. That's what I really wanted to say. So the strengthening of the sun, it's getting stronger the closer and closer we get to spring. Oh, yay. Oh, I'm so glad you're excited for this. So I blabbered on a lot about the history. That's all in the beginning, but I'm going to open a circle and just burn a little bit more Palo Santo first. And then I'm going to open a circle. I have all these candles set up, and I have this beautiful, I'm trying to see how I can show you. I think I'm just going to hold it up. This beautiful candle from Mother Shipton's. I can obviously not do this when it's lit, but look at all the goodness in there. And it's from my friend Emma. It has all these herbs and candles in it already, including labradorite and selenite. And then I have a manifestation candle. Maybe I can turn it around for now. A Hecate candle and the Empress candle. Yeah, that's way better. So we're going to be lighting all of them. Oh, that's like way better. Why didn't I think of that? And I did have this one in the bowl too. But yeah, we're going to be lighting all of them. We're going to be doing a little ritual, and I'm going to be celebrating by doing a couple blessings as well for Imbolc. But right now, before we start with that, do I dare to open the window in sage? I feel like I probably should. Do I have a piece of sage that's big enough? Yeah. Let me sage real quick, and then we're going to open a circle and get started. Okay. Alright, I wanted to get some milk too, since this is it's the festival celebrating Brigid, and her two symbols, main symbols, are the milk, and this is oat milk, and fire. So I wanted to have both of those on my altar to celebrate. And yeah, with that, I'm going to burn some sage and open a circle, and we'll get started. Here we go. I'm just going to do the one piece tonight. Okay. I'm so excited. So yeah, for me, as a Sagittarius, I really do like to engage with the fire element. And since, you know, we got a lot of fire cards in our reading last night with the 10 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, coming to the end of a long journey, and then, you know, making room in our hearts for new commitments. Wands are associated with fire in the tarot, so I thought it was really appropriate that then the day after the new moon in Aquarius, when we got a bunch of wand cards in our tarot card reading, that I got to do this celebration that I was planning. So it's interesting that the collective energy matched up. Alright, so here's some of that sage for you guys. Just gonna do it all over my tools. Alright. And I'm gonna snuff it out pretty quickly tonight. Just in case my neighbors are outside. I'm gonna close the window and be right back again. Alright, so without any further ado, I am going to open a circle now. So if you want to roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time, and I'm going to call in the guides and guardians, and we shall begin. Alright. I welcome in the guides and guardians of the East, element of air. Thank you for being here tonight, as we are still in the window of the Aquarius new moon. Thank you for being here to bless us with new beginnings that are full of hope and positivity and serve our highest good and serve our purpose for being on this planet here at this time. Thank you for allowing us to walk towards new beginnings that serve our own Dharma and the collective Dharma, and remind us that hope is the most powerful magic of all, and that is really what the East brings, the hope of new beginnings on the way. So we welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the South, element of fire, thank you so much for being here tonight. Tonight is all about you and celebrating the sun, which is growing stronger with every day that passes as we get closer and closer to the spring equinox. We welcome you in to celebrate and burn clean all that no longer serves, and welcome in the positive rebirth and transformation that this holiday is really all about, and to fan the inner flame of our heart's desires. We welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the West, element of water, thank you for bringing in cleansing waters of cleansing our emotions, healing our heart. That's really what it's all about in the West, healing our heart. Thank you for, being here with us tonight to help us continue to cleanse and purify all that needs cleansing and purification as we turn the wheel to the midway point, halfway to spring. Thank you for also welcoming in an abundant harvest for us, where we see our intentions come to fruition in divine time, in the perfect time. We welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the North, element of earth, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you just for existing. Thank you for allowing us to be alive at this time on the planet. And thank you for helping us to connect with nature in all its ways and see the magic in nature. I welcome in any guides, spirit guides of love and light that want to be here, and ancestors, healed ancestors, to guide us through our ceremony tonight. I welcome you with so much gratitude into this circle. And finally, I welcome in the element of spirit, which animates and breathes life into all of the elements of this earth, into us, into everything. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. I welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. I welcome in all energies of love and light and nothing else. And with that, the circle is open. The circle is open. Amen. Blessed be, harm none. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Ho, and so it is. All right. Woo. That felt so, so good. Okay, so first things first, I am going to read us a little bit from this book. It is the Book of Blessings and Rituals by Dr. Athena Prakis, or Athena Prakis, PhD. And get us started there with just February and, you know, what it's all about. Because today is February 1st, too. So everyone celebrates that. And so here we go. So this is just a gift for you guys to relax and just chill. So whenever you're seeing this, I hope you're doing just that. So I'm going to read this. I'm going to read another blessing. And then I'm probably going to light the fire and try to read one more in the darkened space. All right. Light the fire. Light the candles. There we go. Okay, February, the month of new and universal love. In February, winter's chill loosens its grasp on the land, well, hopefully soon here in Pennsylvania. We arrive at the midway point between winter and spring in the northern hemisphere, a time to celebrate. Much of nature is pregnant with life, which is reflected by the holiday Imbolc, February 1st. Imbolc means in the belly, and you are invited to think about what is gestating inside of you. Are you kindling your inner fire? Love has brought us through the cycle of conception. Now the waiting begins. It isn't yet time to burst forth into the world with all your dreams fully materialized, which is comforting to hear. Prepare as much as you can for what is coming. Turn your gaze inward and stay there, which is very much the energy of the Four of Swords, which we got in the tarot card spread last night for the new moon in Aquarius. This month, the energy streams of self-love and universal love are easily accessible. Invite them in by gently bringing your attention to your breath, speaking your full birth name out loud, Janine Marie Gibbons, and then asking self and universal love energies to come into your heart. Imagine your heart opening wide to receive them. Welcome these energies and thank them for their presence. The blessings, invocations, and project in this chapter are designed to attract general love energies to you. Are you ready to serve as a channel and conduit of love? By choosing yes, you also welcome the inverse of love. Everything has its opposite, and like and unlike are the same. We must know both love and its opposite to understand it. On a practical level, you will experience hate and disgust and sorrow while you welcome love. That is law. And is why one must be vulnerable in love. It's the only way to really feel it. Dang, though. It's true. You might get terribly hurt along the way, but you might also get terribly loved. It's a risk worth taking, the Fool. I'm just going to keep going, I think, back to the tarot from previous nights, because it really all checks out. May you feel and embody both love and its opposite with grace, now and always. Aho. Wow, it's powerful. She doesn't pull any punches, that Athena Prakis, but I love it. Alrighties, and then here's an invocation for Imbolc and self-love. So here we go. A gathering of energies for wellness and self-care. The turning of season from winter to spring is a sacred occasion. Use this invocation to honor Brigid, goddess of middle winter, and invoke the element of fire in her sacred flame. Ooh, you know what? I really feel called to light the candles as I'm doing this. Oof, I just feel so, like, in that space right now. So let me just get through reading this because I'm feeling, sometimes I just feel the energy so strong. Alrighty. Today at middle winter, I feel a stirring. There's one. All around me, signs of life emerge. There's two. From beneath blankets of snow and ice within me, life emerges too. And I honor the return of life, strengthening my life force on this sacred day. Give me 1 second. I light a candle to Brigid, goddess of fire, of the eternal flame. I am grateful for Mother Earth and her gifts. I invoke the radiant energy of the sun. As I feel the days growing longer, the sun's gentle return, the flame, its rays spreading warmth across the land, across my heart. I am the light. I share my light with others, and in doing so, my light expands. May all that I touch grow, bloom, and flourish with love and beauty always. Amen aho. Amen aho. And so it is. Alrighty, cool. So the last one, I do have a blessing of fire. I wonder if I'll be able to read it if I turn out the lights, if I'll be able to actually read it by candlelight, because I kind of want to do that last, maybe, before I close the circle. This isn't going to be too long, but I wanted to show you this cutesy poo candle, and I might have to take a picture and show you in the reel later, but this is from my friend Emma. Thank you so much, Emma, for this beautiful little ritual. And it's for new beginnings. So in it, you're going to see selenite, for selenite, labradorite, and clear quartz. And there's also a lot of herbs in it too, which I love. I mean, this candle is just next level. There's amber and oud. Oh my god, oud is so good. It's like a sacred tree resin. And amber is just also wonderful, psychically protective. And dried violets and jasmine. And I also have some extra stuff here in this bag. Alright, so now it's time to set your intentions for a fresh start. Sometimes we need to just feel like the old is done and a whole new chapter is starting in our lives. It's like the continuation of Yule, like the strengthening of the sun. Hey McKenna, what's up? Alright. Okay, so set your intentions for a fresh new start. So I have some candles lit already. Sometimes we just need to feel like the old is done and a new chapter is starting in our lives. This candle was created specifically for setting your intentions for a new beginning. So definitely start to meditate on what that might look like for you. And then, so there are the different stones in it. So labradorite. Let's see if I can go around the candles here. Labradorite is a useful companion through change, imparting strength and perseverance. This is such a different definition for labradorite than I'm used to, but I have been talking about it a lot, so kind of like it. It bounces and protects the aura, raises consciousness, and grounds spiritual energies. Labradorite is excellent for strengthening intuition. I guess that part I'm familiar with. Selenite, which is these two little bars of selenite. They're just so gorgeous. I love how this candle is implemented here. Is a calming stone. So I need like a house of selenite. That instills deep peace and is excellent for meditation or spiritual work. It assists judgment and insight. It clears confusion. God bless that. And goddess. It clears confusion and aids in seeing the deeper picture. Ooh, I like that. Instead of the bigger picture, the deeper picture. Clear quartz is known as the stone of power and amplifies any energy or intention. And there's like a little, I don't know if you can see it, clear quartz point right there, which is beautiful. Clear quartz protects against any negativity and attunes your higher self and relieves pain. Interesting. Excellent candle to use for new moon rituals. So I'm doing it a day later, but we're still in that window, which is kind of great. Made using only the finest soy wax and most beautiful crystals and essential oils. Love and light, Hannah. Well, thank you, Hannah, from Mother Shipton's Candles and Apothecary, and thank you, Emma, for gifting me this. One of my former coworkers gifted me this, and it's really beautiful. So I'm really excited to use it. All right. And I've got some other stuff here, some herbs. So I'm going to put them in my hands and sprinkle them in this beautiful onyx bowl. So we've got some amethyst for Pete's bounce and detoxification, some blue kyanite. I just couldn't resist lighting those candles sooner, huh? Some blue kyanite for aligning all of our and cleansing all of our chakras. And I'm putting this in my onyx bowl that I'll hold up and show you guys. It's so beautiful. This was a giveaway that I actually won from my mentor, Athena. So it's really beautiful and sacred to me. And oh, look at that. The light, oh my God, is capturing it so beautifully. So I'm gonna light the final candle. And then to activate this, I want to read a blessing of fire, but let me find the page first. And I pull cards from the Blessed Bee deck. Each kind of like turning of the wheel. So the last one was for Yule. And I'm putting them behind Nikes, hold on one second. On my altar here. So this was the one for Yule. A blessing for a fresh start. And then this is the one we're going to do tonight. A blessing of fire. Alrighty. Because I thought they had one for Brigid, which is the goddess associated with this holiday. But they didn't. So that's okay. But yeah, Brigid, things that are sacred to Brigid, besides like dairy, because there's a lot about like sheep's milk that has to do with her, and she's, you know, sacred to Ireland. And it's just so interesting how throughout any culture tradition the lamb is present, and this one talks about lamb's milk. That actually, you know, animals and plants and everything was sacred way long before a lot of the organized religions that we're familiar with came online, so to speak. So I just always find that overlap kind of interesting and beautiful. Because that just means more people can celebrate the passing of the seasons and recognize that. But yeah, let me get to this page, Blessing of Fire. And then I'm going to turn out the lights, and you can just like sit with your intentions as I read this. Take this blessing in. Okay. Here we go. Let me turn out the lights. Let's see if I can see. Hold on one second. Oh, and I'm gonna, yeah, I'll light the candle. Alrighty. My goodness gracious. Alright, let me see if I, you know what? I'm very carefully maneuvering this. Alright. That's good. I just want you to be able to see all of the candles here. Alrighty. Wow, I look funny, but who cares? I'm excited. Candle here. Alright, here we go. Literally reading by candlelight. This is so cool. A blessing of fire. A blessing to bring passion, motivation, and creative spark to your life and to the lives of those that you touch. May the many blessings of the holy fires be yours. May fire, burning passion, its quick intensity, compel you into moments of action, to make decisions, follow the truths of your heart, and quicken and burn like the flames with the hearth. May you be warmed and sheltered by the glow of these holy fires, and may they spark again and again the motivation we all need to turn the wheel in our own lives. May the blessings of the flames that devour the old be yours. And may they burn through the debris of memories, the fallen deadwood of hurt and grudges, and burn through the pain that so many feel when recollecting injustices. May its injustices inspire you to move forward with your life, and may it bring down what no longer serves you. May its crimson heat take light within your own soul and breathe life to the flames within you, so that you kindle again and again the sacred inner life, which will warm you when all about you grows cold. May you have rising within you from that radiant heart of the fire in the heads of the pores of the old, the ancient brilliance that will allow dreams to ignite, so that you shine with that inner radiance. May any fear of fire pass from you, and may the only flames you tend to be those who serve your best self. Let any former harm in other lives from this element pass away now. Well, that's kind of nice. And let a great spark from the heart of the universe rekindle your love of warmth, your passion, your intensity, and your motivation. For passion. For motivation. For intensity. I like that. Let your warm heart be a shelter for others who come to you like creatures in the wood come to a campfire. And may the fires within be a place of creativity, of dancing and dreams, of stories told through the flickers of the flames. May you always have the warmth and its protection and its ardor, for all the days of your life. Blessed be. And then, this is interesting, it just has like a little note down here. Fire in the head is an old Celtic expression said to have arisen from the Druids, that describes the state of being illuminated by inspiration. Interesting. Fire in the head. Energy is said to pour from the head, creating a halo all about the head of the inspired one. It is often seen around the heads of poets, musicians, mystics, dancers, writers, lovers, and all who are illuminated by this radiant, inspiring fire pouring from their crown chakras. Oh my goodness gracious. That reminds me of the violet flame, which is just a powerful protection thing to say. I am invokes source. And then the violet flame is kind of what transmutes energy. It's thought to be the Holy Spirit too in some traditions, or the secret fire is another kind of word for it. But when you say I am the violet flame, you transmute any lower energies into positive ones. So I am the violet flame, I am the violet flame, I am the violet flame. All right. Dear God and Goddess, thank you for helping all those who watch ignite their inner flame on this holy Imbolc day. Thank you for allowing us to reconnect with our creativity, reconnect with our heart space, reconnect with the energy streams of love and passion and creativity and inspiration. Thank you for awakening our inner flame. Amen. Blessed be, harm none. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Aho, and so it is. All right. I am going to release the guides and guardians. I really don't want to blow out the candles. But I will. So I'm going to release the guides and guardians. I will post this. I'll probably do a reel too. And just have the most sacred Imbolc. Again, Imbolc means in the belly. All of nature is pregnant right now. With, signs of spring that are on the way. And so are we. We're pregnant in the metaphorical sense where, all of our intentions are within us. And, like one of the blessings said, it really is the time to turn inward and explore that creativity. You don't have to push it. It's gonna come through. And thank you, Goddess Brigid, if you're here tonight. I hope you are a keeper of the flame of poets. Thank you for being here to help us connect to our creativity and to always remember the sacred cycles and passages of time and give thanks for the strengthening of the sun more than anything else. All right. Amen. Blessed be, harm none. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Oh, and so it is. All right, I'm going to blow out all the candles and turn back on the lights and release the guides and guardians. Then I'm going to light the candles again and do some ritual by myself here. But I want to see which way the smoke goes. Actually, let me turn on the light first, just so we can see where the smoke goes. Here's the first candle. Ooh, my contacts. that one's going to the east. And this is a really fun meditation you can do. Oh, it's spinning around. This has been happening to my candles a lot lately, where it will just like spin around. But it's primarily in the east, which talks about new beginnings. So the new beginnings candle really checks out there. Those are definitely heading our way. All right, I'm gonna blow out the Empress candle. That smoke is most definitely going to the west. So that's our emotions, that's our heart, the cleansing and purification of that. Beautiful. Yeah, it's definitely going to the west. And this is like a meditation in and of itself, just watching the smoke and where it goes. Hello, how are you? I'm going to be posting this later if you want to go back from the beginning and watch it. And you can stay with me here now. I'm just blowing out the candles for Imbolc, and we're celebrating the strengthening of the sun here. All right, here we go. Here's the manifestation candle. Out it goes. So interesting. That one, it's kind of twirling. Let's see if it can. It was originally starting out to the south. The smoke was going to the south, but yeah, I would still say it's going to the south. So that is the element of fire, right? Of burning clean all that no longer serves, of finally closing those doors. Now, if this one goes to the north, we will have literally seen the smoke go all four directions, which is kind of beautiful. And finally, the Hecate one, which is, you know, when we're at a crossroads, so I still felt like it was a very appropriate one to light tonight. Hecate is another one of the deities I work with a lot. She's the goddess of witches, so, you know. And crossroads, and being at a crossroads, which Imbolc very much is. All right, so let's see where this one wants to go. Super interesting. That one did not last very long, like the smoke on that. I would say it was kind of in the north. It was like northeast. So, you know, north being the element of earth. So manifesting new beginnings, really. So I loved that. All right, let me release the guides and guardians, and thank you so much for being here with me. If you want to work with Imbolc and the goddess Brigid, I highly recommend going back and watching this video from the beginning. And, you know, some things sacred to Brigid. The color green. I heard somewhere that her cloak was green, so that's why I'm wearing that tonight. I'm also wearing green aventurine, which is the crystal associated with good luck and good fortune and opportunities kind of coming in. So this is definitely one to get if you have a job interview, you're looking to get a job promotion, you're just looking for good opportunities to find you. This is the lucky stone, or the gambler's stone, they call it. So I'm wearing that one tonight. It has this cute little tree on it. I don't know if you can see. And then I also have some milk set out, since you know, the ancient people used to kind of take this as a time that, you know, harvesting could begin. They were looking forward towards that, and this represents the sheep's milk that was talking about, you know, the rebirthing of new life and the supporting of that new life. So I have some oats milk, and oats were sacred to Brigid as well. So some oats milk, some oat milk. There we go. All right. So cheers, everyone. All right. I'm going to release the guides and guardians, and thank you so much for joining and being here. I really, really appreciate the support of this channel, and thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, here we go. I release the guides and guardians. Element of spirit, thank you so much for being here tonight, being with us, and continuing to be with us always as we release you from the circle with so much gratitude. Thank you for reminding us that magic is real and that your presence is eternal. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the north, element of earth, thank you so much for allowing us to continue to find ways to reconnect with nature in all its forms and the passing of time in all of its cycles. Thank you for letting us see the signs of spring that are on the way and get excited about it. And thank you for keeping us safe and happy and protected during this cycle and all cycles. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the West, element of water, thank you for continuing to heal our hearts so that we are fully ready to embrace new love, new passion, new creativity that is on the way. Thank you for continuing to cleanse and purify the old so that we may welcome the new and open our hearts to love. I release you with so much gratitude from the circle. Guides and guardians of the South, element of fire, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for inspiring us to connect with our inner flame of passion, of desire, and of creativity. Thank you for keep showing up in our lives in signs and messages in ways that we can see and recognize as tools to further inspire any creative projects that are on the way. Thank you for being there with us throughout all of our projects, and thank you for connecting us to our deepest passions. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. And finally, guides and guardians of the element of air in the direction of the east. Thank you so much for being here tonight and throughout this period between Imbolc and the Spring Equinox. Thank you for helping us continue to grow our intentions as we welcome the strengthening of the sun every day as a new beginning. And thank you for letting us see all the blessings in each day and welcoming in new beginnings of all kinds into our life that serve our highest good and the highest good of all. I release all guides and guardians of love and light, and with that, the circle is closed. The circle is closed. Amen. Blessed be harm none. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. Oh, and so it is. Happy Imbolc, everyone. I'm going to post this now. I'm probably going to do like a little reel later just to kind of get you in the spirit. Thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. All right. Good night. Happy Imbolc.